Hey team, this is the first self-defense video of our long form 4 kata breakdown. So this week we're going to focus on protecting fans. For this technique in long 4, we're going to perform the technique on both sides. The attack is a straight left and then right punch, and then on the other side it will be straight right, then straight left punch. So I'm going to demonstrate the technique full speed from the front view, from behind, break it down move by move, and then at the end we'll do it with an attacker. So I'm starting from attention. Full speed it looks like as follows. And from behind, so now let's break down that technique move by move. So the first side, I'm being attacked by a straight left punch, followed by a straight right. So for the first punch, I'm going to step out with my left foot onto a 45-degree angle and parry the first punch. After that first parry, the second punch is coming through. I'm going to sweep under my arm, chop to the elbow, slide down their arm, grab, just like windmill guard. So from the beginning, I'm going parry, chop the second arm, slide down, grab. And when I grab, I'm going to pull this arm into my hip as a chamber. I'm going to do a right front kick to my attacker's knee and a left spear to their eye. So I'm pulling, kicking, and spearing all at the same time. After I perform that simultaneous move, I land in a horse stance. Now I'm going to do several simultaneous motions at this point. My left arm, as I'm landing, is going to grab the arm of the person in front of me. And at this point, we're transitioning to a second attack in the technique. So I just defended from the first two punches. Now I'm being bear hugged from behind with my arms free, and the attacker's still in front of me, so I need to address them. I'm grabbing their arm and pulling their arm into my body while I elbow the attacker behind me who's bear hugging me. I'm going to do a 2-finger spear to the eyes of the bear hug behind me. And while I'm pulling my attacker in front of me in, they're leaning forward and I'm going to hit them with my elbow right in front of me. So I land, I pull, I elbow and spear behind me, and I elbow in front of me. At this point, I'm going to transition and switch to the other side. So I'm going to strike my attacker in front of me with my left elbow. I'm going to do a right elbow and 2-finger spear to the attacker behind me. After this, I do a left chop to the groin of the attacker behind me, and I do a right spear to the throat of the attacker in front of me. At this point, I'm spearing with all 4 fingers straight into their Adam's apple or throat. That will cause my attacker to instinctively choke up, protecting their neck. At this point, I do a right hammer fist behind me, while my left arm, I'm striking with my first knuckle up on an angle to the attacker in front of me. This is going to throw them off balance because they just leaned forward, and I swung up, so there's a lot of force going on there. They're going to be knocked off balance. They're going to try to grab my right shoulder with their right arm to stabilize. At this point, my right hand I will put my right hand on their wrist, holding their arm in place. My left arm will do an extended inward block right above their elbow. Hyperextending their elbow, maybe breaking it if I do it effectively. And then after this, there are 2 attackers grabbing me on my shoulders like opponents at sides. I do 2 side fists up to those attackers. And then the last attack is the attacker in front of me throws a last-ditch front kick to my groin. And I'm going to curl my knees in and do an X-block with palms or fists to protect my groin. After that, I roll over, hands and feet together, and we'll do it on the second side. So on the second side, it's right then left. So I'm parrying the right hand, chop the left hand, slide down, grab, pull, kick the knee, spear the eye, land, grab their arm, elbow the attacker in front of me, elbow and spear the attacker behind me. Switch, elbow the attacker in front of me, elbow and spear the attacker behind me. Now I chop to the groin of the attacker behind me, spear the neck of the attacker in front of me. They choke up. I swing and strike with my first knuckle on the attacker in front of me, hammer fist the attacker behind me. Their left arm grabs my left shoulder for balance. I'm going to put my left arm here holding their wrist in place. Do an extended right inward block to hyperextend or damage their elbow. And then at this point, I finish up with the 2 upward side fists to attackers from my sides. And then that is where we end this technique. We do not do the X block to protect our groin. That is only on the first side. So now what that all looks like with an attacker, we're going to do this on both sides. So Mr. Matt's going to slowly do a left and then right punch. On the first side, I'm parrying his first arm. I chop and grab his second arm. I pull while I kick his knee, spear his eye. I land, I'm grabbing his arm, and I elbow him in the face while I elbow and spear behind me. Elbow his face again, elbow and spear behind me. I spear his throat, chop behind me, he's all choked up. I strike his face. Now he's going right arm to right shoulder for balance. Hold his wrist here, hit against his elbow, hopefully inflicting a lot of damage. I do my 2 upward strikes, and now he's throwing a front kick, and I do an X-block to protect my groin. I roll around, and now I'll do the technique on the second side. So we're going to transition to this side for a better viewing angle of the attack. Now it's a right-left punching combination, so it's parry the first punch, chop the second punch, slide down, grab, hold into a chamber while I kick, spear his eye, I grab his arm. Elbow, elbow and spear behind me, elbow, elbow and spear behind me, spear his neck, chop the attacker in front of me, or behind me. I strike under the chin of the attacker in front of me, hammer fist behind, left arm grabs the left shoulder, hold his wrist in place, inward block to his elbow, and then I finish with my 2 strikes up. So that is all of protecting fans. Next week we'll pick up with darting leaves for the second self-defense in Form 4. Thanks for watching, everyone.